Drop my pencil, sorry. 2-4, day 1. We're doing Venn diagrams, which are, kind of interesting. You've seen these before. I think you use them in science class, maybe. I might be wrong, who knows. So Venn diagrams are a visual way of displaying the relationship between sets. This series doesn't really go much into sets. Senior math does, my senior math book does, and set theory is actually really cool, and it's a really useful concept for college. Just because there's a whole lot of new symbols that you guys are not exposed to. And I mean, if you really want to, let me know and we could explore more of that, because it is kind of cool. And we could move on to set theory instead of doing all the trig review I've planned. So, it's kind of up to you. So you've got types of Venn diagrams. You've got all, always, and every, which this is read, all elements of P are elements of Q, or if P then Q. So P is on the inside. So if you've got a if P then Q statement, Q is the big bubble, P is the bubble in it. Then you've got some and sometimes, which has a disjunction and a conjunction involved with it, but some elements of P are elements of Q. These ones are going to take a little bit of practice for you. P or Q. An or is everything. This is P and Q. P and Q is where they overlap. So P and Q overlap right here only. So P or Q is all of this, but P and Q is only this. And when we get into the second half of this set of notes, that distinction really makes a difference. And then never, no, none, there's no relationship between P and Q. So numbers 1 through 6, you are creating your own Venn diagrams. So some students who take chorus also take band. This has the word some in it, so you know you're drawing one of these. Chorus, band, you can write the word chorus, you can write the word band. I think she does in her notes. I am choosing to abbreviate because it makes more sense. You don't have to shade anything. You're just saying some students who take chorus also take band. And you move on. So number 2 has the word no in it. So you're dealing with one of these. No perfect squares are prime numbers. Perfect square bubble, prime number bubble. They have nothing in common. Number 3. Numbers divisible by 6 are always divisible by 3. So that is an all, always, every. This one throws me for a loop because I want to make it the other way and it's not the other way. So if a number is divisible by 6, then it is divisible by 3. So if a number is divisible by 6, then it is divisible by 3. Which means statement P is on the inside. If it's divisible by 6, then it is divisible by 3. Which just seems counterintuitive to me. But that's how it works. If your number is divisible by 6, then it is divisible by 3 automatically. So number 4, every natural number is a whole number. Well, that's one of these. So if a number is a natural number, then it is a whole number. Natural goes in on the inside, whole numbers go on the outside. Number 5, some vertical angles are complementary. That is a sum. That means you're dealing with this one. All you got to do, vertical angles, complementary. Again, you're not shading anything. You're just showing that there's a relationship. And number 6, irrationals are never rationals. So never is here. Irrational numbers, rational numbers. They cannot coexist in the same bubble. So number 7 is shading the indicated region on the Venn diagram. These are fun. I love these. So number 7 is Q. You want to shade the entire region Q. So that's a bubble. That's bubble Q. That's all you've got to do for this one. Nice and easy. Number 8, it's P and Q. So if it's an and, it's that overlap. So where do P and Q overlap? Well, they overlap right here. So that's all you shade. Number 9 is P or Q. Ors are everything. So you want everything in bubble P and bubble Q. Sorry, my everything's kind of driving me crazy. So you shade the whole thing. And then number 10 is where it starts getting fun. So you're doing P and not Q. So you want all of bubble P, but not bubble Q. So bubble Q is all of this, and technically P is all of this. So this little section should be shaded except not Q. So you're not doing that. So it is only this area right here, which is, you know, a lot of fun, I think. So, and we would get more into that in the second half of this lesson, but it's not necessarily shading. It's going to be dealing with numbers. And again, it's a lot of fun. So, numbers 11 through 16 are really just being able to read a Venn diagram. So describe each diagram using a conditional or a compound statement. Remember, conditionals are if-thens, compounds are ands and ors. Your if-thens are going to be 11 and 12, because if you've got one circle fully inside the other, it's one of those all, always, every, and it's always a conditional. And then these ones are going to be your either ands or ors. So number 11, this bubble's on the inside. So if an angle measures 60 degrees, then it is acute. So if an angle measures 60 degrees, then it is acute. That's all you got to do. If an animal is a beagle, then it is a dog. The reason we're starting with animal instead, because your other bubble says dog. So if you put, if a dog is a beagle, then it's a dog. That kind of sounds stupid. So if an animal is a beagle, then it is a dog. Number 13. All right. So you've got this region shaded. If you have this region shaded and only that region, it is an and. So some people play volleyball and take piano lessons. Number 14. Number 14 is a lot like this number 10. You should be able to see visually that it's very similar. So it's going to be P and not Q. P and not Q. So months that start, months with 31 days, and do not start with J. 15, very similar, only, we shaded the other side. So students who are freshmen and do not take art class, because this is art class and art class is not included. And then 16 is easy peasy. It's the whole thing. So if you've got the whole thing, it's an or. So numbers that are multiples of 7 or are even numbers. And that is it for the first half.